Hello, Excellent Wives in Training. Welcome to our Just a Minute with Jill. And today we are talking about how the habits you are forming now play out as the years go by. So what will it look like 20 years from now based on what you are currently doing, especially as a single lady? Now, I've been asked if I could go back and give my younger self one suggestion, what would I say to my younger single self? And that is a challenging question to answer with just one thing. But I know that I for sure lacked an undistracted devotion to the Lord. My heart was deeply desirous of the next stage of life. I really believed that when I had all the things that I wanted, that then I would be truly happy. And the facts of the matter are that when I did achieve the things that I truly wanted, they were hard. Marriage was challenging. Raising children was challenging. It's all a very steep learning curve, especially for the youngest in a family. So I would say that I would keep striving to have undistracted devotion, and I would have pursued stronger, finding more accountability to help me with that. So as I look back on the habits I was forming before I moved into the stage of life that I was truly longing for, it would be in finding Christ to be my all in all, regardless of any age and stage of life. And it's challenging to crucify our longings for good things. It requires a full dependence on the Lord to lay ourselves at His feet and to beg upon Him and His help in our weakness, to find contentment in exactly what He has given us, and to be striving to learn how to be an excellent wife without counting the days until that actually happens. The best gift that we can give a future husband and future children is the fear of the Lord and wisdom. And so I think some of the practical things that I would recommend is to be a student of the book of Proverbs from front to back. I absolutely love the book of Proverbs, and I believe it is beyond helpful in all of its both generalities and specifications of what we are to be aiming for. And over, Solomon says, "My son, listen to this. This is righteousness and this is wickedness. This is foolishness and this is wisdom." And if we could focus our minds on that, if we could just steep ourselves in the truth of that when we are young, then there would be much wisdom to bring into a marriage, much wisdom to bring into parenting. The truths of how we are to interact with one another, how to love one another, how to treat one another the way we want to be treated would be readily on our tongues. All that being said, we still have Proverbs 31 to look at and study for how to be a wise woman of God in our diligence and our busyness with our hands and the preparation of our hearts to live in such a way that we bless our husband and our children. I strongly encourage younger women to seek after older godly women, to be helping them with their character, to be helping them with their focus on learning the things that will help them to be a servant to others. There are many things that single women can be growing in and learning before they get married. There's a lot to adjust to when you get married, and it would be a challenging time to be learning how to cook and how to clean, as well as how to be a loving wife. And within 9 months of those wedding bells, there might be a child to adjust to as well. So there is wisdom in learning how to prepare and serve for others. You could start learning how to make meals. I remember when I was a single gal, I saw a meal ministry sign up for the fellowship group that I was in at church, and I thought, oh, I could start doing this. And so I got my mom's recipe for beef stew and dumplings, and I made it, and I laugh when I look back now because I took this family with like 6 or more children, this one big pot of stew with dumplings on top and nothing else. So the spirit was willing and the flesh didn't know any better. There are ways that you could be pouring yourself out now in the practical aspects of home life, in how you serve others, to be preparing yourself in ways to do those things that are everyday occurrences as a wife and as a mom. There is a gal at our church who will call some of the young moms on occasion and say, "I haven't heard that you've been out in a while. May I come watch your kids?" And what a blessing it is to that mama to have someone who's asking if they can come serve, willing to come and watch their kids and get to know their children and be available for them. you could take a meal. I just suggest you ask an older woman if the plans that you've made sound sufficient for the size family you're taking a meal to. So there are many ways that I wish I had grown more in the practical aspects of what it means to care for a home and care for a family before I had them. Most of all, I encourage you as a single gal who is looking down the road, if you want to be a good steward of your possessions in 20 years, then be working on that now. If you want to be a loving wife and mother, be learning the aspects of love and drilling those verses into your heart and soul now. If you want to be a gracious servant of others, be working on that now. The habits that you are working on now is the character that you will have later. The habits you are not working on now will be the character deficiencies that you will be struggling with in the press of life. God is faithful though, and He helps us through in our weaknesses, and He reveals to us ways that we need to be continually growing and striving throughout all the days of our lives. So I praise Him for His sovereign plan in that. Praise Him for your season right now where you are single. And if indeed you are longing to be a godly woman of God, then don't wait and don't put it off till the next season. Spend all your energy now running as hard as you can towards God. And down the road, if someone keeps up, then introduce yourself.